These legendary stars once ruled the golden age of Hollywood. But one TV show changed everything, launching them to greater fame or dragging them into the shadows forever. Barbara Stanwyck was already a Hollywood powerhouse by the time television came calling. With a career spanning dozens of iconic films in the 1930s and 40s, she had solidified her place as one of the Golden Age's most magnetic actresses. But it was her transition to the small screen that completely redefined her legacy. In 1965, Stanwyck took the lead in the Western drama The Big Valley, playing Victoria Barkley, a fiercely intelligent and commanding matriarch. The role wasn't just a comeback, it was a reinvention. Audiences saw a new side of Stanwyck, tough yet nurturing, elegant yet relentless. The performance earned her an Emmy Award and brought her to a whole new generation of viewers who hadn't grown up watching her on the silver screen. Rather than fading into obscurity like many of her peers, Barbara Stanwyck embraced the evolving entertainment world. The Big Valley made her a TV icon, not just a film legend. It extended her career, boosted her public image, and proved she could dominate any medium she touched. For Stanwyck, television wasn't a downgrade, it was a new throne. Fred MacMurray was known in Hollywood for his charming everyman roles in classic films like Double Indemnity and The Apartment. But as the golden age of cinema began to fade, MacMurray faced the same uncertainty many film stars did: how to stay relevant in a rapidly changing industry. Then came My Three Sons. Premiering in 1960, the wholesome family sitcom gave MacMurray a second act that no one saw coming. As Steve Douglas, a widowed father raising 3 boys, MacMurray traded noir shadows for fatherly warmth. The role not only showed off his comedic timing and softer side, but it also made him a beloved fixture in American living rooms for over a decade. My Three Sons ran for 12 seasons, becoming one of the longest-running sitcoms of its time, and it did something remarkable for MacMurray. It transformed him from a cinematic leading man into a television icon. Younger generations, unfamiliar with his darker film roles, came to know him solely as the ideal dad. In many ways, My Three Sons didn't just preserve Fred MacMurray's career, it redefined it entirely, giving him a timeless appeal that still resonates with audiences today. Loretta Young was the epitome of elegance during Hollywood's golden age, with an Oscar-winning film career that spanned decades. But it was television that gave her an unexpected second spotlight, and it changed her image forever. In 1953, the Loretta Young show premiered, showcasing not just her acting talent, but her personal values and charm. Each episode began with Loretta herself, gracefully entering through a doorway in a new stunning gown, delivering a heartfelt introduction that became iconic. The show wasn't just about storytelling, it was about connection. She starred in many of the episodes, often playing strong, moral characters facing real-life challenges. The series was a massive success, earning her 3 Emmy Awards and making her one of the first film stars to truly conquer television. For Young, the show was more than a career move. It was a personal mission to share meaningful stories. At a time when many film actresses struggled to adapt, Loretta Young flourished, becoming a household name all over again. The Loretta Young Show didn't just extend her career, it immortalized her as both a movie queen and a television pioneer. It was a graceful evolution that left an indelible mark on both mediums. Raymond Burr was often cast as the villain in his early film career, dark, intense, and menacing. But everything changed in 1957 when he took on a role that would not only redefine his image, but also cement his place in television history: Perry Mason. As the brilliant defense attorney in the legendary courtroom drama, Burr flipped the script on his career. No longer the antagonist, he became the hero, sharp, composed, and morally unshakable. The show became a massive hit, running for 9 seasons and turning Burr into a household name. His portrayal of Perry Mason was so iconic, it made audiences forget he'd ever been a cinematic bad guy. Burr won 2 Emmy Awards for the role, and became a symbol of justice and intellect on TV screens across America. Later, he would achieve a second wave of television fame with Ironside, playing a paraplegic detective, a role that further showcased his depth and resilience as an actor. For Raymond Burr, television wasn't just a new chapter, it was a transformation. From film villain to TV legend, Perry Mason didn't just change his career, it completely rewrote his legacy. Donna Reed was already beloved in Hollywood thanks to her warm presence in classics like It's a Wonderful Life and her Oscar-winning role in From Here to Eternity. But it was television that gave her a career-defining second act and turned her into an enduring American icon. In 1958, The Donna Reed Show debuted, and suddenly Reed wasn't just a talented actress. She was America's favorite TV mom. As Donna Stone, she portrayed a picture-perfect yet progressive housewife who balanced charm, wit, and strength with effortless grace. The show became a staple in American households, running for 8 successful seasons and earning her a Golden Globe in 1963. More than just a sitcom, The Donna Reed Show subtly pushed boundaries. Her character wasn't just baking cookies, she was offering wisdom, challenging norms, and raising thoughtful children. For Reed, television didn't just preserve her stardom, it elevated it, allowing her to connect deeply with audiences in their own homes, week after week. In a time when many Golden Age stars faded into the background, Donna Reed reinvented herself and thrived. Her leap into television not only reshaped her image, it made her a permanent fixture of pop culture history. Robert Young spent years as a reliable leading man in Hollywood films, often cast as the affable husband or dependable friend. But by the 1950s, his film career had cooled, until television gave him a role that would forever redefine his image. In 1954, Father Knows Best premiered, and Robert Young became the quintessential TV dad. As Jim Anderson, he portrayed a calm, wise, and loving father navigating everyday life with his wife and 3 children. The show resonated deeply with American audiences during a time of shifting family values, and Young's performance struck the perfect balance between authority and warmth. It ran for 6 seasons and earned him 3 Emmy Awards, turning him into an icon of idealized fatherhood. But Young didn't stop there. In the 1970s, he stunned audiences again by starring in Marcus Welby, M.D., playing a compassionate and unorthodox doctor. That role won him another Emmy and proved his versatility across generations. For Robert Young, television didn't just revive his career, it expanded it. From loving father to wise physician, TV transformed him from a steady film actor into a household name, admired for roles that defined what it meant to be caring, kind, and human. Gene Barry made his mark in Hollywood with strong performances in films like The War of the Worlds, 1953, but it was television that truly elevated him to stardom. In 1958, he stepped into the role of the suave, sharp-witted lawman in Bat Masterson, a Western series based on the real-life figure. With his signature derby hat, cane, and impeccable style, Barry brought a refreshing sophistication to the Western genre. The show's success turned him into a household name and introduced a new kind of TV cowboy, more charm and brains than brawn. But Barry's television transformation didn't stop there. In the 1960s, he starred as the lead in Burke's Law, playing millionaire detective Amos Burke who solved crimes while riding in a chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce. The show was a hit, and Barry's charisma and elegance helped redefine the image of the TV detective. For Gene Barry, television wasn't just a platform, it was a playground that allowed him to explore layered, stylish characters that movies never offered. These roles not only revived his career, but also cemented him as a pioneer of cool on the small screen. Thanks to TV, Barry's legacy became one of charm, intelligence, and timeless appeal. George Raft was one of Hollywood's most iconic tough guys during the Golden Age, known for playing mobsters and gangsters in films like Scarface and They Drive by Night. With his cool demeanor, slicked back hair, and smooth moves, he carved a niche as the quintessential screen villain. But by the 1950s, his star had dimmed as film roles became less frequent, and the mobster genre was fading. Then came television. In 1959, Raft made a significant transition by starring in The George Raft Story, a TV series that mixed drama with elements of his own life and persona. Although the show didn't last long, it marked an important shift. Raft's return to the screen, albeit on the smaller one, in a new role, where he had more control over his character. Later, he appeared in guest spots on popular TV shows like The Untouchables and The Man from UNCLE, showcasing his talents in more mature, often more reflective roles. For George Raft, television was a second act that allowed him to remain in the public eye and showcase the gravitas of an aging star. It didn't revive his career to the heights of his earlier years, but it gave him a lasting presence as a Hollywood legend on a new platform. And Southern was a star of the Golden Age, known for her glamorous roles in films like A Letter to Three Wives and Maisie. With her sultry voice and sparkling presence, she became a fixture in both comedy and drama on the big screen. But as the movie industry changed in the 1950s, Southern found herself facing a new challenge, staying relevant in an increasingly competitive world. Then, television came to the rescue. In 1953, Southern found her perfect fit in The and Southern Show, a sitcom where she played the ambitious, charming, and often hilarious character of Katie O'Connor, an ambitious secretary trying to make it in the big city. The show was a hit, earning Southern a Golden Globe and a new level of recognition that allowed her to reinvent herself. With her comedic timing and natural charisma, Southern showed that she could shine just as brightly on television as she had in films. The and Southern Show ran for 4 successful seasons, proving that Southern wasn't just a film star. She was a versatile and enduring performer who could thrive in any medium. TV allowed her to extend her career, turning her into a household name for a new generation. George Burns was a master of comedy with a career that spanned decades in both vaudeville and Hollywood, but it was television that gave him a true second wind. Having achieved great success with his wife, Gracie Allen, in The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, Burns continued to solidify his comedic genius. However, as television evolved and Gracie retired from the show in the mid-1950s, George Burns faced a challenge, remaining relevant without his comedic partner. But in 1972, he found a whole new career path with The George Burns Show. This variety show reintroduced him to the public, and his quick wit and charm took center stage. Then, in 1975, Burns took his career to new heights with The Sunshine Boys, where his performance as an aging vaudevillian won him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Burns' most iconic television success, however, came with The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show being revived in the 1970s, followed by a long-running role on The Burns and Allen Show. Burns' ability to adapt to television's changing landscape proved that his comedy was timeless. From radio to TV, Burns remained an unmatched comedic legend, keeping his iconic style fresh for generations. Gracie Allen was already a beloved comedy legend by the time she took her act to television, but it was the small screen that truly cemented her place in history. Alongside her husband George Burns, Gracie became a comedic force in the 1940s with The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. The show was a groundbreaking hit, as it cleverly combined her slapstick humor with George's straight-man timing. Gracie's eccentric airhead persona was unlike anything audiences had seen before, and it made her an instant TV icon. But in the early 1950s, when the show was at its peak, Gracie made the decision to retire from the spotlight, leaving George to continue on solo. This decision could have signaled the end of her career, but instead, it marked a transformation. Gracie's comedic style had become a hallmark of the era, and even in retirement, her influence was undeniable. Though she appeared less frequently after the 1950s, her legacy on television was immortalized through reruns and her unforgettable performances. Gracie Allen's work on television didn't just make her a star. It made her an integral part of the evolution of American comedy, a legacy that lives on today. Henry Fonda was one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, known for his roles in films like The Grapes of Wrath and 12 Angry Men. With his strong stoic presence, he became a symbol of American heroism and integrity on the big screen. But as the 1960s dawned, Fonda found himself at a crossroads. The rise of television brought new challenges for movie stars like him, and many were wondering how to stay relevant in the rapidly changing entertainment landscape. In 1962, Fonda embraced television with The Deputy, a Western series where he played a lawman in the American frontier. Although the show wasn't a massive hit, it allowed Fonda to show a different side of his acting chops and keep his career alive in a new medium. However, it was in 1973 when Fonda made his most significant TV appearance in The Best Man, a political drama where he reprised his stage role, proving that his talent transcended mediums. Despite his movie stardom, Fonda's turn in television gave him new life, ensuring that his reputation as one of America's greatest actors would endure. His TV appearances kept his legacy alive and connected him with a whole new generation of fans.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment. Also, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be notified of our new videos each day. Thanks for watching.